Let's do
Well, it
it.
is our pleasure for the second time to welcome our good friend Don Crash joining us from all the way from Sweden. Of course, you know, one of the great hard rock bands in the world right now. It is H.E.A.T, and he's joining us. Don Crash, how are you, man? It's great to see you again. Great to hear from you. And you are a new father. Just how? First off, how'd you pull that off?
How I pull that off? Being a father?
Well,
Well, I went to the Caribbean on a rock and roll cruise ship, and 9 months later, I was a dad.
are you telling me that this was a Monsters of Rock cruise, baby? Is
Yep.
that? Are you? Wow. That
Yes.
was that's incredible. Congratulations on that. And that was like the
Thank you.
band. That was your last show, right? That's been the band's last show. Was that?
Yeah, yeah, almost. Yeah, we did 2 shows in Sweden after that, but then it was just nothing.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very
It's
much.
kind of a new beginning for Heat because it's kind of crazy because you and I have kind of become pals, but originally when we had you on last spring, we were supposed to have Erik on, and at the last second, management said,
Mhm.
"Well, can you talk to Don instead?" I said, "Absolutely," but I guess it was sort of foreboding, kind of a sign of things to come because Erik soon after was out of the band. What's this last several months kind of been like as you've been transitioning back to Kenny, who by the way is incredible, of course.
Well, thank you for the support. And you mean now the past months now?
Yeah, since Erik left and Kenny rejoined, what's that been like for the band? Was there ever a time when you said, "We guys, this may be it. We may not be able to go on"? How did this whole force kind of all come back together with Kenny? How did it all happen?
Yeah, but well, first of all, yeah, we had when Erik quit, we were like, yeah, it was lots of big thoughts, and we were a bit confused, and it was like, now what? But then we just took it methodically, and I think Kenny was the first person that we thought of as a singer, but not the only person. But eventually, we reached out to him, and we were like, guys, we should really like reach out to Kenny. We just is he even interested? We didn't know that, so we wrote an email, the whole band, the remainder of the band, and we said basically, okay, we're okay. Long story short, we checked if he was interested, and he was like, yeah, fuck yeah. There's no doubt about it. There's so much energy and power, and he has been kind of waiting for this, hoping for this,
Wow.
kind of. And he was in Spain, actually. He was hiking in the mountains in Spain, overlooking the ocean. As he described it, it was quite epic. Why when he got a pling on his phone, and it was an email from us, like,
Wow.
would you like? We don't have a singer. We need a singer. What do you say, man? Are you even interested? He was like looking out, standing on top of the mountain, looking out of the over the ocean, and like, destiny's calling, something like that.
That's
So, and then he flew to Sweden directly, and we had a meeting, and we did try to we recorded a song with Kenny, actually, just to get a feel for each other, because it was a long time ago since he was in the band, and but we recorded I think a couple of songs, and we all felt like, man, this is going to be so great. So we offered Kenny to join again.
there's so much positivity. There's so many. It's the lightning rod that I think you guys needed because Erik is such an impactful singer. He's got the range. He's got everything that you need. And I think that Heat 2 was such an important album for you guys. To me, it was the album of the year in 2020. It came out early in 2020 and nothing touched it. It was the best hard rock album of 2020. It's not even close.
Oh,
So
thank you, man.
I get, was there some pause about that? Was there some concern? Like, hey, you had all this momentum. You had some great videos for Heat 2. The album did so well. And then it's like, well, now we have to bring in another singer. Was there some concern about kind of losing momentum with doing that?
Yes, as you say, that we feel also that Heat 2, the last album, it went really good, got recepted very good, maybe the best reception of an album we've ever gotten. So but and also the years coming up to this point, Erik didn't just one day saying, okay, guys, I'm out. Have a good one. He was kind of slowly fading out, losing interest, kind of like realizing he didn't want to play in the band anymore. And we felt that too. And that was not fun, because we were like, the rest of us, like, we're like, let's go. And he was more and more like trying to, he was just fading out, losing interest. And that was not, that was something, I wouldn't say that it bothered us, but more and more, we felt that kind of small friction sounds a bit dramatic. Yeah. It wasn't very dramatic at all. But we wanted to go forward, and he wanted to step aside, and eventually he did that. And we were like, it felt kind of dark for a moment. It was like everything's going, when we finally have great success, then a lot of speed bumps happen that we didn't count with. But when Kenny rejoined the band, that was a new start. That was like you said, some kind of iron rod. What did you say?
Lightning rod. That's like an American expression. Rod. A lightning rod, like it kick-started you guys again. Yes.
Yeah, and so it's very nice and refreshing to have Kenny back in the band, because he's a force of nature, and he's got so much energy and will, and he just wants to go out on tour and play music and record albums and just go, and just he's just really good force of energy to this band right now, and that feels actually awesome.
Well, so how do you keep the momentum going, the direction that we saw on H.E.A.T 2, and then of course subsequently we see the video that Kenny recorded the vocals for Rise, which was incredible. And I thought, like, this is a good litmus test, because that song, for the vocals, it's got to go all over the place. It's got to go so high in parts. It's got to really come out and hit you. And I was like, I got my girlfriend really into H.E.A.T for the last album. And I was like, look at this, watch this, because we're going to see right now what this is going to be like. Can he pull this off? And we both looked at that and we said, this is unbelievable. He did great. That video was important. Having fans see that Kenny could pull that material off was really important. And it was a great video. And that song in particular, have you thought about having him re-record other songs on the album, or are you just going to kind of move forward from here on other songs?
We have thought about it, but we're not quite sure, because we felt, just like you said, that it was important for people to hear Kenny with modern H.E.A.T. But maybe that's enough. That's that song, and we're gonna focus on, because right now we are writing songs, like all of us every day. We feel, and we're not gonna rush it. We feel that we need a kick-ass album to follow up the success of the last one, and it's Kenny's first album with H.E.A.T in over a decade. So, but I don't know if we're gonna put out more re-recordings with Kenny. A lot of people have asked for that, actually.
It'd be interesting to hear a few more songs. Adrenaline, I think, would be a good one to hear him do, or Heaven Must Have Won an Angel, I think would be cool to hear him do, because obviously these are songs eventually, Don, we're all going to be able to leave our homes and go to concerts again. And one of the first things we're going to want to see is H.E.A.T in a concert setting. Now, you guys have some shows kind of on the books for July. What is your management talking about? Do you feel like that everything is going to be going ahead? Because here in America, slowly but surely, things are starting to come back around. There's some shows popping up here and there. Mm-hmm. Is it a positive outlook for live performances for you guys this year?
Well, to be honest, not really. But also from our perspective, we had a positive outlook from the beginning, that we thought, like, maybe in 2 months, 3 months, the pandemic will be over. And everybody in the business has been trying to be optimistic for like over a year now. Mm-hmm. So we are very carefully with optimism. We just hope for the hope for the best and prepare for the worst. I really, really hope that we can go out and play shows again soon. But, you know, time will tell. A year later, and lots of gigs has been postponed, you know, several times. They push it back 6 months and it doesn't happen again. And they have to push it back 6 months again. It doesn't happen again, you know, several shows like that. And that's for the promoters, it costs a lot of money to go out with new promotion, with new dates. And then it's just the feels like the breath is going out of everybody. I'm trying to be optimistic, but I'm just hoping for the best.
Well, one of the big things is we would love to see, of course, the band back in America. You guys posted a picture just the other day of the first time you guys came to America, which was like back in like 2008 or 2009. Like, what was that like for you guys, a young band that got to come over to America? And then like how frustrating is it since then that it has not worked out? It's hard to pull this off. We're good friends with the guys from Crazy Licks from Sweden.
Yeah.
And it's the same problem for them to try to get a promoter, to try to get dates, to try to get the financials in order. It's hard to pull off, but there's so many fans in America that need this type of music, that need to see you guys. How frustrating has it been to not be able to get back to America in so many years?
Well, very frustrating. We thought it would be easier to get back to America. It took a lot of years from when we first were there in 2008 or 9.
Yeah.
And it was not 9. It was 8. Actually, it was like 7 or 2007 or 8.
Okay. That was right at the beginning then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was so cool. That was we don't talk a lot about that trip, but that trip was awesome. You know, we were like teenagers, you know, going to America, a Swedish rock band full of, you know, fire and dreams. It was so awesome. You know, coming to America as a young rocker, we just loved everything. We loved everything from when we landed in America. It was like we went to New York also, and we saw it's not smoke, but it's kind of steam or fog or something coming out of this sewer. I don't know what it's called, the lids for the sewers. Yeah. We were like, it's just like the movies, man. And also, one thing that happened in the beginning, and it was we went with a cab from the airport to the city, and a truck driver just honked at the taxi because he was driving as an asshole. He pulled down the window, the truck driver, and honked the big fat horn, like, and then it pulled down the window, and he was like, asshole. We were like, yeah, America.
Yeah, that's New York for you. You can't drive down in Manhattan without there's a horn honking somewhere. And I think that, you know, I'm in the Midwest. I live in Missouri, right in the middle of America. So it's a lot different. You go all over this country. There's so many differences. And we hope that you guys are able to get back here. But, you know, for you guys and for Kenny, it's like going back to the beginning. In fact, you just released a video on your YouTube channel, which was kind of Kenny and you guys going back to the original, you know, place in Sweden where you guys first started out. And I think the venue, the club was torn down or it was gone, but you guys were kind of standing there out in the middle of nowhere and just kind of reflecting. And Kenny was reflecting on what that was like. I mean, when you think about the last 13 years, you've grown up, you know, you talked about it. You were a teenager. Now you're an adult. You have a child.
Yeah.
And just what has this journey been like for you, watching this band grow to where it is today? Is it emotional for you? Is it exciting? What are the emotions that go along with that?
It is, well, right now it feels like exciting since Kenny joined again, it feels exciting for the first time in a long time. And just remembering how it was when we started, you know, we've done quite a few albums now and so many tours, like several laps around the globe almost. I think we played in not all continents, but we played in Asia, and we played in America and South America, and we played in Europe, all across Europe 200 times. It feels like it's just somewhere on the way you kind of maybe lose the spark. You just do it. Okay, another tour, another album, but when we started, it was like everything was so much power and energy and youthful madness back then. It just, having Kenny back, it really makes you think about when we started, the good times, and just that's just a very welcome energy, warm winds of energy coming back to us.
Well, what in a dream world for you guys, and if everything goes perfectly, like what do you want this year to look like for H.E.A.T? Do you have kind of a timetable? Do you have an album that you want to make to get out this year, or are you thinking more 2022 for the new album?
Let's see how it goes. We're
Yeah.
trying to write songs like almost every day, everybody, and if it goes well, if we feel that we have the songs, then we'll record it and we'll put it out there. But we're not going to rush it. So it might be 2021, might be 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk to you about Sweden in general, because I've always been fascinated by Scandinavian countries. I've never been. I was supposed to go to Iceland this last summer, but of course COVID happens. And so that was unfortunate. I've always wanted to go. Yeah. Well, I did see the movie Midsummer, which was about a Swedish cult that kills a bunch of Americans. So I might rethink it, but no, I absolutely want to come out there sometime. But to talk about Sweden and kind of the music that comes out of there, because to me, the future and of hard rock, and the kind of hard rock that I like, the album oriented, driving guitar, kind of 80s sounding rock, comes from Sweden. We know Crazy Licks really well, H.E.A.T, Eclipse, so many wonderful bands that come from Sweden. How has Sweden been able to produce bands at this many bands and at this level? Because it's really not happening in America. It's happening overseas, and it's happening where you live. That's pretty incredible.
So you mean how we can have so many melodic rock bands?
Yeah. Why? What is it about where you live? Is it something about the culture? Is there something about that kind of music was those kind of bands just so popular that a lot of bands became influenced by 80s rock bands? What is it about Sweden that produces the bands like H.E.A.T, Crazy Licks, and Eclipse? I mean, it's incredible.
Probably, I think Sweden has probably always been a good country across all genres of music. It's a good music country, but I think, well, there's some interesting, there's some cool answers and there's some boring answers to that question. I mean,
what's
the cool answers is like we get it with the breast milk, and it's the legacy of rock. It's just there from when we're born, and we're from the same small town that Europe is. So they walked these streets in the 80s, and we walk these streets a couple decades later, and just thinking about, wow, this is where Europe rehearsed, and this is where they did this and that. But and we look at their success, and we adore their music as well. But I guess it's the culture, but also so the boring answer is that the government really supports music in this country.
That's awesome.
They put a lot of their budget into supporting music and culture in Sweden, so that a big chunk of the taxes go to culture and music. So it's quite easy to start a band and get a place to rehearse, and you can get not a lot of money, but a little money, so you can afford a place to rehearse and maybe buy some instruments and stuff like that. So it's a political thing almost, maybe. I think it's a lot harder in many other countries to spend your time into making music when you're not getting any money out of it. But if the government is there and giving you a little help, then that helps a lot.
Well, it's crazy when you talk about politics in America. It's a terrible thing But when you say something like that is political, that sounds something that's a wonderful political avenue and something that it's tremendous that the government would have that kind of foresight to support the arts in the way that they do. That is tremendous. And I just hope nothing but success for you guys. Before we let you go, Don, anything coming up, anything that we need to be looking out for on social media, anything coming up that you guys are going to be releasing? What do we need to check out here in the near future here for you guys?
Well, hopefully we can put out a kind of single, a new original song with Kenny, first H.E.A.T song with Kenny. And yeah,
wow,
in a while. That would be so cool to put that out a lot sooner than the full album. Obviously, a full album is going to take time, but we're going to try to put out a song. So just, yeah, keep your eyes open. Maybe we'll re-record a song, an old H.E.A.T song, like you said. So just, we are trying to have a presence in social media when there's no shows happening. So we'll try to post everything and post something and just keep everybody updated on Facebook and on YouTube and like that.
I can't wait. Crash, you're a great guy. You're a good friend. Thank you so much. And anything that we can do to help, anything that we can do to promote, you know how to get a hold of me. Please let us know, because bands like H.E.A.T, it's very important that you guys are able to sustain and continue this momentum. You guys, what you're doing is very much appreciated here in America and all over the world. So thank you, sir. Stay safe and stay healthy.
For the support.
Oh, of course, man. Let's just hopefully that one of these days we'll be able to see you in person, and we'll be able to see you guys here in America, and we'll be able to do it right, man. Come over to America and we will rock out. Sound good?
Yeah, we will be back. Mark my words.
Crasher the man. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.